Coming up, I'm going to be talking about the new Moana 2 trailer, plus also how we're very unlikely to see the original cuts of Star Wars arrive on Disney Plus anytime soon. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. Let's start off with talking about Moana 2. We've just had the new teaser trailer released for the upcoming film, which is coming out in cinemas on November the 27th in time for Thanksgiving. Probably going to be a huge hit over the holiday season. And I suspect then we'll see it arrive on Disney Plus in early to mid 2025, good 90 to 120 days afterwards, I suspect. Now, this film was actually originally going to be a Disney Plus series. They announced it a few years ago, but they decided it was too good, and they've ended up reformatting it to turn it into a movie, making some changes, bringing back some of the original voices. And I thought the trailer did a very good job in doing that exact thing that a teaser trailer was supposed to do. Give absolutely nothing away while also building up the hype. We got some familiar faces back in here. We've got some little jokes. We can see the animation has improved since last time. Some beautiful sea creatures. There's some great big like monster thing in there that she's going to be fighting. And overall, I am looking forward to watching Moana 2. The trailer, as I said, this is a teaser one, so it's not really about giving us an idea of the plot or anything like that. Little aspects here and there. I loved all the little comedy, especially a bit about bacon and eggs. I thought that was good. But overall, yeah, good, solid teaser trailer. I'm sure it's going to be well received. Anyone that doesn't really like the trailer, I think the question is are they actually really a fan of Moana? And the big thing is with Moana is that when it originally came out, it pulled in just over 600 million at the box office. But since then, it has gone on to become the most streamed movie on Disney Plus, not actually just on Disney Plus, on all of the streaming services pretty much every year since. So there's now built up a massive audience of people that are going to be much more interested in it. I don't think it's going to be hitting $1 billion under any circumstances. I mean, it could do, it'd be good if it did, but let's set realistic expectations, I think, now for box office numbers. But I'm looking forward to watching it. I think it's going to be a big hit over that Thanksgiving weekend. But let us know, what did you think of the new Moana 2 trailer? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. Moving on from there, but before we do so, make sure you do hit that like button. It sends a good signal to YouTube that you like my videos. But let's now talk about Star Wars, because recently at the Cannes Film Festival, George Lucas received an honorary award, and during that he spoke about his original films and how he's unlikely to want to see them released in their original format on either in cinemas or on Disney Plus. Now, way back in 1977 when he first made the film, obviously since then technology has improved, and they have been tinkering with this film every time they re-release it, every time it comes out on VHS, when it came out on Laserdisc, when it came out on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, etc. They continue to make little fixes. Back for the 20th anniversary, he went back and spent millions of dollars creating all new special effects in there, added in some scenes, and kind of touched it up a little bit. And he generally he feels this, as a filmmaker, it's his, and he should put out there what he feels comfortable with. And yeah, he doesn't like the original ones. Now, years ago, they did actually release the original versions on Laserdisc. And also, they even put that footage out as a bonus feature on some DVDs for a limited time when the fans were requesting it. However, a lot of people were not happy with it because it literally was a very poor transfer. And George Lucas pretty much was like, well, this is what you wanted. You wanted the uncut, the same version that came out back then. There's been a lot of changes to it. Obviously 4K or the rest of it. He went the opposite way, going, yeah, no, I'm not touching it up. You're getting the original version with, in the old format. So I don't know. I mean, it would be nice to see it as a bonus feature on Disney Plus. I think there's a lot of stuff with these kind of ideas of, a lot of us like the idea of seeing the original one, and in our minds, it still looks maybe as good as the new 4K new versions that we're seeing on Disney Plus. But obviously that wouldn't all be in there with the special effects and stuff. Now, there are some scenes, I'll be honest, that were in the 20th anniversary one. I don't necessarily think they were needed. I mean, I get touching it up and touching up the sound and the visual effects and stuff like that a little bit. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting those original versions re-released at any time soon. I mean, maybe in a few decades' time when we've got new people in charge of Disney, and maybe with George Lucas not with us anymore, that might be a different stage. But at that point, the movie is going to be, it's already 40 plus years old already. I mean, I think you're going to get to a point where they're just going to want to leave it alone. Probably by then, they're going to completely remake it, do a new version. I don't know, all done it with AI, all the rest of it. But nevertheless, it's not a good thought. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on this. Do you think they should put it out there? Do you not? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. George Lucas definitely doesn't like it, but in some ways, it'd be nice to have it, but I quite like watching the new versions with all this, on the best possible quality. But let us know what you think of this in the comments below. Shifting gears now, let's talk about what's new on Disney Plus today. The major new release around the world was a brand new documentary series called Camden. So this one is out on Disney Plus around the world and on Hulu, and Hulu on Disney Plus in the United States. 4-part series, taking a look at Camden, which is a place here in the UK in London where a lot of famous artists kind of get their head into the business, start getting used to doing shows there, usually get picked up by agencies and stuff like this. And it's very much a place which is at the heart of the music industry. In this documentary, we hear from Dua Lipa, we also hear from Chris Martin from Coldplay. You've got Boy George in here, you've got Noel Gallagher from Oasis. And each episode, there's 4 of them all together. One of them is kind of more like a general idea and kind of more of the, I would say, mainstream success. Then we got another one which is more about like the indie rock scene and stuff, and more about like the pitfalls of becoming famous. Then a third episode is more about like hip hop and Americans coming over and finding success there. And then in the 4th episode, it's more about the dance element. I enjoyed the first episode. I personally, that was probably enough for me for this series because it kind of gave me an indication of what Camden was all about. I've walked through there a few times, but never really realised how important it was, obviously, to the artists. But sometimes with these things, in their minds and to the local community, it means a lot more than to the rest of us. It did feel like with the 3rd episode, it was much more focused on it from the idea of American viewpoint. It's a pretty cool sort of documentary. Personally, I think this one's going to depend on what type of music you like. Maybe it might depend on which episode you prefer, and also on the artists you like. If you're on there and they're talking about a load of music and stuff that you're not really into, like I was with the 3rd and the 4th episodes, it was like, I'm not really that interested in this. But I did enjoy episodes 1 and 2. But definitely a good release, definitely if you're into your music. And Disney are really leaning in on this music stuff right now to being very, very popular. But are you going to be checking out Camden? Love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. Also, some other new releases. Here in the UK, we got the entire series of The Veil, the new FX series. So I'm going to be planning on checking that one out myself tonight. Again, because for some reason they held it back. They had the finale yesterday everywhere else, but we had to wait and we got the whole lot in one go. There was also a new documentary on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus about Lainey Wilson, who's a really big country music star. I really enjoy her music, so that's one I'm also going to be checking out myself a little bit later on. Hopefully, it's always a bit weird with the country music stuff of whether or not they released them internationally. It might just end up staying in the US, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you're going to be watching on Disney Plus today in the comments below. Question of the day, which comes from Brent, who asks, are we still getting live 24/7 fast channels on Disney Plus? So this was something that was revealed recently, that we're going to be getting some like genre channels added onto Disney Plus. Officially, Disney has not confirmed this or said that it's happening. So that's the first key thing to take into account. It hasn't been officially announced, and so we don't really know how this is going to work. Is it just going to be like strolling channels just for genres, maybe like a Marvel one, a comedy, things like that? And is it going to be available to all subscribers? The question you asked there is about FAST, which is free channels. Now, this is where things are going to get a little bit interesting. Is this going to be a free tier of Disney Plus? So you can maybe watch 10, 15 different free channels that are rotating. You're not going to be getting things like The Mandalorian or any of the new stuff on there if it's free. But it could be a way for them to kind of expand out. They'll be making money from advertising through it. I don't know. I mean, on one hand, it could devalue obviously having those channels in the normal bundle. But also, if you've only got limited access, that maybe you've only got like 10 channels on the free one, but you've got, I don't know, 80 channels if you're a paid subscriber. Or if they just look at it and go, it's basically like linear television. We're making money off people that wouldn't have been subscribed. And again, it's not about video on demand. It's going to be interesting to see how all this comes together. We're really seeing them start to lean in on this. I don't know. It's going to be, like I said, very to work out how they're going to do it. On one hand, I could see benefits of doing it as a free service. But on the other hand, could that then cause other problems for Disney Plus? I don't know. But maybe rather than selling stuff to Tubi and all the rest of it, if they want to go after that market, offering some live channels. And like I said, you're not going to be seeing the latest series or anything like that on there. They're going to be wanting to make you pay for that. But if you've got a channel rolling with just, I don't know, Disney Channel content and National Geographic content, not necessarily a live stream of the channel, I don't think they're going to go down that route, but there's lots of opportunities there. But let us know what you think. Do you think they're going to be adding these channels? And do you think it should be available to everyone or just for subscribers? Love to hear your thoughts on this. If you've got a good question as well, pop that in, and if it's good, I'll pop it out on tomorrow's video. But on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.